Today's the July 1st meeting of the Berlin Board of Health being conducted via Zoom. Any and all people who wish to speak, participate, will be given that opportunity. This meeting is being recorded for historical purposes and review at any later date. With that, the Title 5 inspection for 116 Coburn was a pass.
Okay.
I don't have it on my email, but I thought there was something relative to a well at corner of Fosgate and Gates Pond.
Right.
Yeah, something came in late.
Okay.
Look on my
Is that
phone.
the map with the well?
They wanted to
Yes.
drill it deeper. Is that the idea? They wanted
Well,
to
no,
just
they have a shallow well and they want to put in a drilled well. The problem is, and I went over it with Bill at the office earlier today, there's a fairly steep embankment. Mike Sullivan, the driller, has visited the site. The owner is trying to carve out a section of that banking so Mike can get it. The issue right now is whether they can get the 50-foot offset to a property line, and that's kind of sketchy. They can get 40 plus, but until the excavation is done,
Right.
they don't know how far away they're going to be,
Yeah.
how off they're going to be from the 50-foot offset.
sounds like getting a truck in there too hard of it. I'm well getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The property line is adjacent to Fosgate Road. There's 10 feet to pavement, and
Yeah.
there's nothing across the street. Hearings aren't necessary on well placement.
Right.
It's a situation where the owner and the well driller are trying to do the best they can to get as close to that 50 feet as possible. Bill has no issues with it, and after reviewing it with him, I certainly don't either.
And this is pre-existing house.
A pre-existing house,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
You guys see what I'm sharing, right?
And on the
Yep.
plan, you see
Perfect.
the hatch mark on the top. The existing shallow well is near the very top of that, and that grid or hash marks, that's a proposed patio, I guess. So that conflicts with the shallow well, and they want to get away from the shallow well anyhow.
Yeah.
So that's why they're going the drill routine.
Well, I have no problem with them drilling it, Paul, because it's cased off. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, well, it'll be standard drilled well with casing and all that. I mean,
Totally.
that's the only way Sullivan does it. He knows
Oh,
the
no,
rules.
no, Mike does it, but what I mean is it's going to be better than it ever was with a cased off well than out shallow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So,
I have no issue.
all right, John.
No issue with it.
Okay, neither do I. So I'll let Bill know that that's a go.
Okay.
Let's see.
We just need to approve the minutes, Paul, from the last meeting,
Oh,
just to
okay.
make, so it's official for the sole signer
Oh,
paperwork.
that's correct. Yeah, right, Val. Good catch. I
Yep.
forgot that. Do we have any issues with the minutes?
No,
do.
I had read them. I'm fine with them.
Okay.
And Valerie, you don't got to get so intense with them. I mean, I know you try to cover everything, but I think it's a great job. But
Thank you.
don't get
All
too,
right.
you know.
You
Sounds
want to,
good.
can I make a motion to waive the minutes? We
yeah,
have to approve the minutes, right?
I'll second
Yep.
that. I'll move that.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes? I'll say aye.
Aye. Aye.
John?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved, so that can get submitted, Val.
Great. I'll do it tomorrow.
We received a notice from one of the main mattress recyclers we use, and they're
I saw that.
Their fees are going up to $45 per mattress. Minimum charge of $8.50. So that's like 18 mattresses, and we usually ship 20, 25, so that's not an issue. But they're
Mhm.
now charging $100 for trucking.
Oh,
Currently, we're charging residents $35.
okay.
I've reached out to Irene Congdon and DEP to get names of other mattress recyclers to check on pricing, competitive pricing.
I kind of
And
wish they did that before we put out our flyer, Paul.
yeah, I know, it would have been nice, huh?
They can't win.
Would have been nice, but
Yeah.
and Stan and I have talked. We're concerned that if we, jack our price to 45, $50, that we're gonna start seeing mattresses on the side of the road.
Right.
And that maybe the prudent thing to do is to eat this differential. Hopefully we can find a little more competitive price, but
For now. Yep.
for now, and right now, we don't really have to make a decision because we don't have all the information that we should and could have. We're working on that.
Okay.
Mattresses were just emptied, I think, within the last couple weeks, so we've got a little bit of time.
Okay.
But it becomes something of a budgetary issue, but
Yeah. Like you say, they kind of wish you'd let you know before the fiscal year, but they never do.
yeah, we're raising our sticker fees. And I'm a little concerned about hitting our residents, with a left and a right at the same time.
Right. Well, exactly not right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I think we'll have more conversation about this. Certainly at our next meeting, we'll try and get as much information as possible to deal with this.
Okay.
Oh, before I forget, Val, this is for your attention.
Okay.
You know how a couple weeks ago I found renewal by mail from last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I found another package of them pinned to the main bulletin board across from Eloise's office at
Oh, I
the
thought
end of
those were.
last week.
I almost
Oh.
looked there, Paul. Geez, that's funny you
What,
say that.
Bobby?
I thought I looked there and didn't see any, but you're right. When you were bringing up the other ones, I said, geez, there was some over there at one time, but I guess I didn't see them.
So, I don't know if somebody's trying to help us or if somebody's trying to not help us.
Yeah.
Because I would think if it was a municipal employee who thought they were doing good, they should understand fiscal year difference.
Right.
And that's what it says. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a
Well, I looked
mystery.
once and I didn't think I saw them, but I'm not sure, Paul. So,
It's a mystery, and I just want you to be aware, Val, that
Yep.
some people are gonna be waving that orange and say.
you
And the
show
other
them the
thing
green
is
one.
when
I will.
Stan and I talked about that and some guy grumbled, um,
Right.
I would point out to our residents that if they should look at the fire, police, and school budget if they think the Board of Health transfer station budget is out of line.
Oh, definitely. I was
And
going to bring you back to town reboot from Edgartown here, Paul. You would really enjoy that. You'd be, oh my goodness gracious.
And I'm gonna talk to somebody in FinCom just to see what kind of percentage our budget actually has on the budget and on a tax bill. I think it's really quite small, but I would like to have that number because
Right.
we're gonna get some pushback from people, and the
Mhm.
best way to deal with pushback is with facts. So
Mhm.
want to
Good.
circle that wagon.
Great idea.
Um, The other thing on new business is new emergency dispensing site plan. And I must admit, I am kind of in the dark about that.
Well, Chief Stephen from fire took a lot of that over, Paul, so I guess
did?
I'll have to have a conversation with him. I thought he took over a lot of the
Who
emergency.
took over, Bobby? I missed
The-
that.
The chief of fire department,
Oh,
Stephen.
okay.
We gave him the big book and he said, I'll straighten that out and get back to you guys a couple of years ago, because he was kind of looking into doing that, you know what I mean? And
Okay,
set-
yeah.
For us, so I guess I gotta have a conversation and see if anything turned up, because we still getting stuff from them, you know, and we
Right,
were,
right.
we were a little part of that, but not the big cheese, you know, so.
We actually just received an updated copy.
Okay.
They, I think was it Jamie Terry, the
Yeah,
person,
Jamie
yeah.
Terry, yeah.
She just said that she had updated it and did some stuff and wanted to make sure that we knew that this was the new version. So
Okay.
there is so I don't know if you have to do any follow-up, Bob. I think it's just to share that a new version of the manual is here, and
Right,
there's
okay,
I printed it out and there's a copy of it in the office.
okay,
If anyone wants to look at it,
Yeah.
but just that it's been updated and
Yeah.
we received it.
well, like I say, Steve McQuillan had no problem looking at it and taking, you know, like I said, he said, I'll look at it and see the best I can do on our end, you know what I mean? And I said, oh, that was great, because things were falling apart a few years ago on that, so.
Yeah. So I think it's all set. She didn't ask us to do
Okay.
anything.
Well,
So I
that's
think it's good.
Terrific, thank you.
Val, have you submitted, I think you have the tie-in bond for payment?
John came in on Monday and did
Oh,
his
okay.
signature on it. And so I submitted that. The
Good.
only thing I need to follow up on as far as the end of the year bills is are we going to get another Neshoba nursing bill for fourth quarter?
Hmm,
That's something I need to think about. Um,
I don't know how they break that up, Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look at the old bill maybe and see where it came from and
Yeah.
call. And then we just got the last BP bill today,
Right.
so that's good. We have until like the 15th to figure that out. So I'm really just trying to look at all the records and see if I can find anything that possibly could be coming.
I talked to BP last week because by agreement, July 1st, we're supposed to be getting hit with new rates. I deal with, there are two brothers that run the company. I deal with Stephen, and he was going to sit down with his brother Gary, and they're supposed to get back to me this week to see where we are with rates. And
Okay.
they've indicated that they're, certainly willing to work with us. I mean, we've been a long-term customer and there's no
They've been
issue. The
terrific to
service
us,
has
yeah.
been good and
Yeah.
our payments have been good. And with that being said, somebody from Lawrence Trucking has approached us looking to give us rates on the transfer station. So I'm going to follow up on that also,
Yeah.
just to give us a comparative.
Yep.
Um,
That's not maintenance like the other ones provide us with all kinds of stuff that we don't have from a lot of companies. So if we were to look at other ones, we are, BP has been the best we could ever have so far, I think.
Right, but I mean, there's hauling rates, there's the disposal rates. I want to get a comparison.
Okay, yeah,
How much we would be charged to get rid of commingled from a different vendor.
okay, yeah,
What our recoup might be on cardboard. I mean, it's not just haul and trash. We've got these other things. And would they give us a free compactor for cardboard, which BP does?
right.
That's kind of the frosting on BP's cake, and it's kind of an important one because we move a lot of cardboard out of there.
And they gave us heads up on maintenance too, didn't they, Paul, on who to call for maintenance on those sometimes?
Well, when we call for service, they respond. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, they're in the service business like we are, so they gotta
Right.
respond.
Paul, do we make any money off the cardboard? Or is that something we're charged?
What's that, John?
Do we make money off the cardboard or is that something we're charged?
Yeah, we do. It varies how much. Right now, I think it's about $40 a ton. I've seen it over time, over 100, and sometimes it's nothing.
Right.
It's
Right.
there's some sort of yellow sheet that gets published once a month on recyclables. I have yet to track it down, but that's pretty much what the companies go by.
Okay. Thank you.
Years ago, all cardboard used to go to China,
Yeah,
and they'd remanufacture it. But U.S. manufacturing or remanufacturing has gotten their act together, so most cardboard stays in this country and gets reprocessed, which affects the marketplace. So it is what it is.
John, anytime you're looking for that information, just send me an email because it's all in like one of the spreadsheets, so I can let you know
Thank you.
about that too.
Appreciate it.
All right. Does anybody have anything? Oh, I've renewed Kevin Pond's senior work off with the transfer station because we periodically have things for him to do down there. And when we go to put in the camera system, we're gonna need some help. That's gonna take 3 or 4 people to do that. Kevin did get one 4x4 installed for a camera that will deal with a certain area. Stan and I think we've got it figured out on where the camera should point.
I know Kevin. I think we can trust him a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's got weed whacking to do. He's probably going to paint some lines. He's pretty flexible, so he's a good fit for us down there.
Speaking of that, I still wanted to touch base and come up with volunteers that are going to be your Walmart greeters in essence, where they
Okay.
come in and help organize.
Yeah, I certainly think that's a very worthwhile idea to pursue.
What is
I
it?
don't know
To
if that's
take,
something
to take
we
it,
can
leave it?
put
you
out
mean?
on the web or on our site, soliciting folks for that. Any thoughts on that, John?
I think we should put something. I mean, it was when we come up with, I think, like a scope of what they're going to do, then
Okay, yeah.
and then we
Makes
would then
sense.
post it and say, here's your job, the volunteer description, and the expectations are to be knowledgeable on what things
Sure.
the town makes money on. That helps us sort better to take some of the things out of the stream for BP.
I mean, just recently when I was down there, I don't know if it was last Saturday, but 1 or 2 people came in and they just got their recent bill or whatever from Mr. Trashman and for the curbside pickup. And the prices went up, and at least one fellow came into the transfer station, and he's going to switch over to the transfer station, which is good news for us.
Right.
More people we get to use it, the better off we are.
Yes. They don't realize, a lot of people, how convenient it actually is.
Well, a toter is convenient, but it takes up space in your garage. You got to hang on to the stuff for longer than you do if you use the transfer station. And
2 or 3
if
days.
you have a cookout with lobsters and clams,
Right.
the garage is gonna smell after a while. So, it's
Still, no matter 3 times a week for transfer, once a week for a pickup. So I don't know.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Still think we
Exactly.
got the upper hand.
I mean, one of the things, what you're talking about, John, is people, if we get volunteers like that, they could help new folks by explaining
Yeah.
what goes where, basically traffic flows. Need to think of some other things.
I was thinking of color-coded signs just above each section.
Thinking of what? I'm sorry.
Yep, I agree.
color-coded signs above the different areas so we can break down and have a map. And then I would like to
Yeah, a
explain
map,
the
a
flow and
map
how
would
it
certainly
normally
be a
goes.
good idea.
And then give the importance of taking things out of the BP trash can stream and getting
Right.
your cardboard, your metal, your glass, your textiles separated out. And I think it's just a classy touch. Coming
Yeah.
out and it brings a little bit back to Berlin feel of like, how you doing? Welcome to our transfer station. You have any questions, please feel free and
Yep.
ask.
John,
Um,
John, you wouldn't have believed the difference we saw after we paved it. From before it was paved, you know, it was dirt. We picked up a lot of customers saying, wait a minute, this isn't as muddy. So we had a lot more customers, male and female, you know, coming in saying, oh, this is a little nicer than I thought, you know? So we're coming out of the dark ages slowly.
Perfect. I can take all the credit.
Okay, I have nothing else. Anybody have anything new and different or thoughts about anything relative to what we're doing?
Did Billy have anything in line, Valerie, that you know of besides what we saw?
Nope, that's
No.
all he had.
Yep,
No, I'm okay.
I've been doing the letters for him, which has been going very well so far.
Good.
I will be out of the office for a little bit tomorrow because meeting with Stan with all the new materials for the new
right.
year.
Yep.
So around 11:15, 11:30, I'll be out at the transfer station talking to him. And I'll be back right after. And I think we're all set. We got the surveys printed. We've got all our materials, and
Super.
I think we're ready to
Super.
go.
So
Don't work too hard down there, kiddo.
Are you, are you bringing surveys down with you tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, great, great.
Yep. And I have a little box that, you know, people can put it in. I was going to grab just a couple of clipboards and some pens in case
Mhm.
someone said, how
Yeah,
about I just fill it out here?
Right.
rather
yeah,
than
that'll happen.
Wait.
That'll happen.
So I'm just
Perfect.
going to see the lay of the land and see what's to be expected. And then Saturday, I'll be there all day selling stickers. So,
Okay.
all right,
might
well,
be there with you, Val.
all right. That sounds
there
great.
you go. You're not a prisoner there either. You can go get coffee once in a while, you know.
I know. Yeah, Stan did tell me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Real
Okay,
quick,
if there's
Paul,
nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
one quick question, Paul.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Are we keeping the mattress at $35?
I'm sorry, yeah, we didn't. we
Yes.
Didn't finalize that. Right now, we're gonna keep it at 35,
Okay.
and hopefully we can find another vendor that will be closer to that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And, you know, it doesn't preclude, you know, if this starts to get out of hand, we are able to raise the price whenever we need to. It's just, you know, the
Right.
politics of it and, you know,
It's
getting
the
people
lens,
adjusted
yeah.
to it. We're gonna try and avoid that, but it may happen. We'll have to see.
Okay.
If we're all good, then I'll motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay?
So moved.
All right, all in favor, I'll say aye.
All right.
Aye.